Hello. Hello, this is the My Artifact episode number 3377. Today's date is 1st of April 2025. It's been almost like a night at 10:37 p.m. Alright, yeah. There is a one kind of like a something special thing is actually happened. Okay, it's a very special thing. Okay, yeah. What is that special thing? Okay. Uh okay, so I am like I kind of like a somebody create kind of like a some sort of graphics, um educational or kind of like a something not educational, it's kind of like a something inspirational graphics. Okay, yeah. And I upload those graphics on Instagram and YouTube platform. All right, yeah. Because of that, some of the graphics are really good, and because of that I get almost like a 10,000 follower. Okay, yeah. And as also people are actually following me. Okay, so which is really good, the number are really good too on Instagram. Right. There is a like couple of days ago there is a kind of like a some sort of girl or some sort of, I don't know who is that person. So she actually made a cookie. Okay, so what is exactly that cookie? So basically what is this thing that she's a artist, she's also artist, but she actually execute her art form by making cookies. Okay, yeah, like basically I execute my art form with graphic designing, she execute her art form with cookies. Okay, yeah, which is somewhat really unique. Okay, yeah, because in the graphic designing you have bunch of assets combined together and make some sort of things, but while making cookies it's a completely different game. Okay, yeah, you shouldn't supposed to be bring some sort of asset and collide all those things. No, you have to create by itself by your me. It's kind of like a something painting, but it's even more complicated than that. Okay, because in the paint you are kind of like a something painting by brush, but it's a kind of like a something in cookie you are kind of like a something playing with the gel. Okay, it's some sort of things. Okay, yeah, so she actually made a cookie on my art form. Okay, yeah. And it was like a really incredible. Yeah, like basically I just feel like that, yeah, I'm kind of like something really special, that my art form or my work is kind of like something inspiring some sort of people, and they are replicating that, which is feel really good. Okay, yeah, like I just feel like that my content is kind of like feel really valuable to the people, and it's really good, it felt really good. Okay, yeah, she actually mentioned my name too, like Saurabh Avatare. Okay, probably she was actually from US or Europe, I'm thinking probably, and she created this particular art. Amazing, why it felt kind of like a something valued. Okay, yeah, like I never really feel that much kind of like a something valued when I achieve 10,000 followers, but I feel really value when someone kind of like a creating craft about me, about my content, and I feel something really special. I feel that key, wow, yeah, it's some sort of gentle smile in my in my face, and it felt really good. It is okay, whatever. We directly jump into the question. All right, yeah, let's go, let's jump into the question. Okay, yeah. Question is, if I had to start my business from scratch today, knowing everything I know now, what would I do differently? Oh, that is really good question. Okay, yeah, so what is that this thing? Okay, yeah. So the question says that if you wanted to start a kind of like a something new business, how would you supposed to start that business? How would you like whatever the information that you have right now, what kind of like a stuff that you would do? Well, I have a bunch of ideas, okay, regarding about artifact, regarding about travel, regarding about everything, but I mentioned those things in so many times. Okay, yeah, but there is a kind of like a simply a new idea that I think it would be really good to execute as a business. And what is that idea? Okay, yeah. So I am belong to the India. Okay, and in India, waste management system is almost like a negligible. Like there is nothing really at all. What's a waste management system? Waste management system, not waste. Okay, waste means like a sewer gutter. No, means like that ki kachra. Okay, yeah. What is actually kachra? Uh, what is exactly the kachra? Uh, English word for kachra. Let me Google. I just forget. KTCH. Kachra in English. Dude, garbage, dude, garbage. I just forgot that thing, garbage. Okay, garbage management system. Okay, sorry, garbage management system. Okay, so I am belong to the India, and basically in India, the waste management system or garbage management system is almost negligible. Almost negligible. Yeah, like if you wanted to kind of like do example, so open like you have to go to open your laptop or desktop. Okay, yeah. Type Google Maps. Okay, yeah. And sorry, Google Earth. Okay, yeah. Specifically Google Earth. Google Earth is kind of like something really good. So what should you supposed to do is that key street view. Okay, yeah, like there is a kind of like something option on street view on Google Earth. So basically what is actually this thing, you put kind of like a simply went to the US and try to see the street view of US. It's kind of like a simply see everything clean. Okay, yeah. Means like that you pointed anywhere on the US, everything looks really clean. Okay, yeah. But when you point in India, anywhere in India, there is always be a garbage. Definitely there always be a garbage. As also, let me tell you one thing, I belong to the India, and usually is this thing, most of the people, most of the household people are kind of like a something disposing their garbage besides the road, mostly beside the road, or kind of like a something is this thing. Why we are not kind of like a dispose our garbage into the garbage unit or anything? Why not? Because let me tell you one thing, in India, management of the garbage system is nothing, like it's non-existence. What is exactly non-existence? Okay, a non-existence means like that, na? Okay, let me compare to you with the US. Okay, in US, what is actually happened that ki whatever the garbage that you are created from your household or anything at all, okay, yeah, you collect that garbage into the black plastic. Okay, yeah. And you put that plastic into the kind of like a something dustbin. Okay, yeah. Then that dustbin is actually collected by the kind of like a something truck is always came early morning, and who collected all those kind of like a something black plastic which contain the garbage, collect all those things in a truck. Okay, yeah. That truck is full of kind of like a garbage. That garbage is kind of like a somebody went to the something really a management or something like that, a system where garbage management system where kind of like a somebody all those garbage are collected properly, it treated properly. Treated means like that it will not get burned. It kind of like a something is this thing, like a metal particle are separated, the plastic particle are separated, the organic particle are kind of like something separated. Means like that ki all those garbage are kind of like a simply separate in variable things. Means like that ki they could reuse that thing. Means if it is plastic, then we could reuse that plastic. If it is kind of like a simply, if it is kind of like a something metal, we could reuse that metal. So this is all those things. This is what kind of like a something disposal management system. Okay, yeah. And they actually did it every single day. Every single day they did it kind of like a something that management system. They every single day they kind of like collect that garbages and things like that, and it is really good system. Okay, yeah. And because of that, in US we don't really see any kind of like some garbages, anything at all, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. And this is all those things is actually done by the government. Okay, yeah. Like there is no kind of like a somebody is his body who is kind of like a somebody handle this thing. No, his government is actually kind of like a handling this thing. That's why we could see the US is very cleanless. Okay, yeah, their roads and everything, you hardly even see any kind of like a somebody garbage over there. But in India it's kind of like a completely very different thing, because in India, handling the dispose or waste management system or disposal management system is way much difficult. Yeah, way much difficult means what? Like we don't really have that kind of like a something a facility of that separation of metal, plastic and things like that. In US every district they have that kind of like a something factory or that kind of like a something waste management system that could kind of like a something something really kind of like a something differentiate the what is actually metal, what is actually the plastic, what is actually the raw material, everything. Okay, yeah. And they reuse that thing. But in India we don't really have that thing. Mostly in Bombay and Delhi they have that thing, but as also they are in very low capacity. Means like that the garbage they have is kind of like a far too much than they kind of like simply manage that thing. So it is like a really difficult. So that's why what exactly is this thing that ki, the government is not actually collecting the garbage. Like at first government is not collecting the garbage. So basically what exactly is this happen, the most of the people who kind of like a burn that garbage in surrounding area. Okay, yeah. Somewhere kind of like a only beside the road, or some people are kind of like a burn that thing, or some people didn't really burn that thing, and it kind of like a stay there, and it kind of like a somebody just no one took care of that. Okay, so which is like a feel really dirty. Like basically most of the household people could kind of like a simply clean our house and our kind of like a simply around, but basically besides the road no one would care, definitely no one would care. So this is kind of like a simply waste management system. Okay, yeah. Now why government is not doing waste management system, why they are not taking care of that? Okay, the reason is that okay, they don't really have that much fund. What do you mean by? Okay, yeah, like India is a third, like a fourth economical country. Economical? No, it's a fourth GDP and kind of like a something. It's like a like regarding about money, we are in fourth rank. Okay, US, China, Germany, Japan, then Japan, then India, and then Germany. So we are in fourth rank regarding about money that we have. So we have money. Okay, yeah, we definitely have money. So why we are not kind of like spending that much money into kind of like a cleaning the garbage and things like that? Why not? Okay, so India is a kind of like a some country where things are very different. Different means like that ki it we have a lot of issues. Okay, yeah. Like as also US they have also issues too, but as compared to the India, we have diversifying people. Like in India we have very different kind of people. What's a different kind of people? Different kind of people means like that every age category, every religious category, and every different thought process of category. Like let me tell you one thing, India is a kind of like a only cluster of multiple countries in one country. Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that he taking some sort of decision, kind of like a collecting the garbage and things like that, it is kind of like a simply far less essential thing. What do you mean by far less essential thing? Like we have far more important essential, far more essential thing. That is far more essential thing means like that healthcare, railway, roads, and things like that. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like a something very essential thing for us. Okay, yeah. Collecting the garbage and things like that, it is something non-essential work. Okay, so India is actually kind of like a something be more focus on essential work. Okay, yeah. But dude, collecting garbage is also really essential, na? Like because of that, if they are not collecting the garbage, that means it kind of like a create the pollution. Okay, it not only kind of like a look bad, but as also when that garbage burn, it kind of like emits CO2. That CO2 is kind of like a cause some sort of cancer to the people. Okay, yeah. So which is definitely not good. Okay, yeah. So it should supposed to be a essential thing, like a cleaning the city and things like that. It should supposed to be very essential thing. Then why our Indian government is not kind of like a putting that much stuff? Is because of kind of like a something power dynamic. Okay, like a first reason that I mentioned earlier, it is non-essential thing in India. Collecting the garbage is non-essential thing. Okay, like basically the till the date right now I am like a till the 2025, like basically I'm recording this artifact at 1st of April 2025, and this is what kind of like a something the situation are here. In future I'm not really sure, but this is the kind of like a something ground reality. Okay, yeah. So first reason is that ki Indian government didn't really think that collecting the garbage is essential. Another thing, okay, yeah, garbage is kind of like a something thing that is actually happened at every single household. Okay, like every single household. Okay, yeah, that household is actually at some sort of district. Okay, yeah, who collect those kind of like a only garbage thing, garbage, who collect those garbage is kind of like a only district management system or district management authority of people. Means like that the people who are kind of like a something having authority of kind of like a taking good care of the district. Okay, what is a district? Okay, yeah. So so in India we have prime minister, one of the topmost position. Okay, yeah, which control the entire country. Okay, yeah. Then we have state. Okay, yeah, like we have almost like a multiple states. Okay, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, we have all those states. Okay, yeah, that state has a some sort of leader called chief minister. Okay, we have that chief minister. When you like, I'm actually belong to the Maharashtra state. Okay, so Maharashtra is my state, and there is a chief minister. Okay, yeah. Then beyond that there is a district. Means like that the collection of all those district became a state. Okay, collection of all those state became a country. All right, so you understand na. So now ground level is called district. My district is Wardha. Okay, yeah. Now let me tell you one thing. The power that most of the power is actually hold. What's the power? A power means like that who could give the power to do all those things, like collecting the garbage and things like that. Can prime minister give that particular power? Like prime minister is too much, like he's a leader of the country, he shouldn't supposed to do all those things. Like collecting the garbage and things like that, it should supposed to be happened at local level na. Okay, means like that at the district level, the people who are authority of district things, they should supposed to take care of that waste management system or garbage management system. They should supposed to be collect that thing, they should supposed to be, yeah. But in India, our local management system, they don't really have any kind of like assembly power to do all those things, do collecting the garbage and things like that. Why they have not that power? Okay, so what is actually the power? Okay, yeah, let me understand the power. A power means like that ki you not only controlling that particular thing, but as also you are actually earning some sort of thing from that thing. Okay, still not understand? Okay, yeah. Example is this thing. You are a businessman. Okay, yeah, and you have almost like a basically thousands of mobile phone. Okay, yeah, you have thousands of mobile phone, and you have to sell that mobile phone. So how do you supposed to do? First of all is that ki you own that thousands of mobile phones, so basically you took care of that thousands of mobile phone. Okay, yeah, basically those thousands of mobile phones should supposed to be work really good, as also those thousands of mobile phones should supposed to be work really good after they buy or after they sold. Okay, so that it kind of like simply improve our image of that particular shopkeeper or particular business person. Okay, yeah. So for me, I have to took care of that thousands of phone, I have to market that phone, then somebody will people buy the phone. As also I have to took care of service. Okay, after buy service I should supposed to take care of that. Okay, yeah, and I would supposed to be earn money through it na. Like money through it. Means like if I buy some sort of phone, then I will earn money. If I kind of like giving the service, I will kind of like earn some sort of money. So basically is this thing, the service that I'm providing to selling that phone, and I am kind of like a collecting the revenue now. I am collecting the revenue, right? Okay, it's a kind of like a direct revenue that I'm collecting from the customer as I'm businessman. Okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna ask question that if the local government is kind of like a collecting the garbage, what is exactly their revenue sources? Like we are not giving them money to kind of like collecting the garbage. So why they are kind of like a collecting this thing? Like what is actually the revenue sources for them? Nothing really at all. Yeah, like possibly you could say that ki we are actually giving the task, but that tax, the money that we are actually spending for giving the tax is actually went to the central. Okay, like a GST and things like that. It went to the central. Means like that the money is actually went to the central, then it went to the state, then it went to the district, and then district will decided to go to the spend that some sort of money to the local management, to the local kind of like people who are kind of collecting the garbage and things like that. So you get it na. So basically is this thing ki if I'm businessman and I'm getting my revenue sources from all three different categories of people, then might be my revenue sources will cut down very less. This is exactly thing is actually happening in India. Okay, means like that ki like no one is actually giving a kind of like a somebody a money to me to collect in the garbage. Okay, if I'm kind of like controlling the local authority or local government and I'm collecting some sort of garbage from the people, no one is actually giving me any kind of like somebody revenue and things like that so that I would collect that garbage. So why would I supposed to collect that garbage? Okay, like it is not giving me any kind of like some incentive, it is not giving me any kind of like a stuff. Okay, yeah, like at early stage you might gonna do for kind of like a somebody societal point of perspective. Means like that ki you are kind of like a somebody person who are wanted to be a society as look as good as possible, so you are kind of like a doing it at the beginning. But how much you could do that? 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, or 6 month, max to max 6 months, or maybe year. But then after that what would you do? No. So basically is this thing incentive. Means like that na ki I have to be earn money from the effort that I'm putting. If the local government is actually collecting the garbage, that means they should supposed to be get the revenue from the people who are collecting the garbage. But it's not. Okay, yeah, like all those taxes of money are actually went to the central, and then it went to the state, and then it went to the district, and then it went to the local bodies and things like that. So definitely it is kind of like a somebody very like the people who are collecting the garbage, they are not kind of like a somebody getting that much incentive to collect that thing. Okay, and as also in our society, in I'm talking to the Indian point of perspective, in our society collecting the garbage is a kind of like a somebody very low level of work. Yeah, low level of work means like that you will not get any kind of like a somebody respect. What do you mean by that? Okay, if you are in US and Europe you might not gonna understand, but in India it is kind of like a far more different. Okay, in US a doctor, a waiter, or engineer, or kind of like a person who are kind of like a somebody cleaning the street and things like that, they all are people who are kind of like a something gain the respect the same. Okay, means like that whatever the respect that that doctor gets, same respect is actually get to the nurse, same respect that they get to the kind of like a something the people who are cleaning the stuff and things like that. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. Means like that ki there is no kind of like a something differentiate between the this is low kind of work, this is the high kind of work. Like they have might be, but it just like that na ki it is very less. But in India we are too much, literally too much. Like basically is this thing, we are actually giving so much respect to the people who are kind of like handling the authority. Means like that IAS officer, or kind of like a collector officer, or kind of like a something the government body person, we are actually giving them lot of respect. As also we are actually giving the respect to the doctor and engineers too. but we are not actually giving any respect who are kind of like a simply health worker or kind of like a simply cleaner. Okay, yeah, we are not actually giving any kind of like a simply respect to them. Why? Because we think that the people who are actually doing this thing is because of they are less educated, and that's why they doing this thing. Okay, yeah, and this is somewhat true, by the way. Okay, yeah, like this is a kind of like a some thought process. And yeah, so basically is this thing, the collecting the garbage people are kind of like a something way very kind of like a less respected person, very less respected person. So basically is this thing, the people who are actually collecting the garbage, they are doing really good for the society, but as also they are not earning that much amount of money, they are not earning that much amount of respect, they are not getting anything at all. And even if they are doing something really incredible work to the society, in return they didn't really get anything at all. Okay, yeah, so it is, yeah, so that's why in India waste management system is like nothing, which is nothing means like that, like there is nothing really at all. Okay, yeah, so what is exactly my business plan? Okay, yeah, so my business plan is that I have to be kind of like a something, first of all is that I have to build the app. Okay, yeah, in this app, what should I supposed to do is that uh, I should supposed to build that app, upload it on the Play Store. Okay, yeah, and what is actually this app do is that the basically the people who download those particular app. Okay, yeah, what does this app do is that when the people who actually see any kind of like some garbage or things like that, they would kind of like somebody take the photo of that garbage. Okay, yeah, and kind of like a make a ticket. Or what's a ticket? A ticket means like that having the information of that particular image, the photo that you are taking, the public do who took the photo of that garbage, and as also the location, the pinpoint location. Okay, yeah, and this kind of like a somebody ticket is actually generated. Okay, yeah, and that ticket is actually generated to the server. Now what should I supposed to do is that I have to, first of all I have to talk to the municipality of people. Okay, I means like local government, and I should supposed to say that in this city, in this particular area, I am actually collecting the garbage. Okay, yeah, and you shouldn't like let me give us some sort of permission to collect the garbage. Okay, yeah, and basically is this thing, a government are obviously they don't want to, and I don't need really required any kind of like assembly money, I just need really required a permission. Okay, that's it. Okay, so they will give me some sort of permission regarding about the license and things like that. Okay, yeah, now what should I supposed to do is that I build that particular app, and people who kind of like a something use that app to took the photo and kind of like create the ticket, it went to my server. Okay, yeah, now what is actually that server, what does do is that I found that in this particular location there is a kind of like assembly garbage, so I send some sort of people to kind of like a clean that particular garbage. Okay, yeah, now you understand this kind of like a something very simple formula. But another thing is that how would I supposed to earn money through it? Okay, yeah, like basically if I'm not asking any kind of like assembly money from the municipality people or government local bodies, so how would I supposed to earn money through it? Like I won't be able to do any kind of like a free stuff for no, nothing really at all. So how would I supposed to be? I'm gonna earn money through the people. What do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, so what exactly is this thing? The people who are actually taking the photo, this option is only available if I'm kind of like a something, I actually giving them a paid service. Means like that the people who kind of like took the photo once in a day. Okay, means like that every day they will get kind of like some opportunity to took the photo of that particular garbage, and it will it will generate the ticket, and that ticket went to the server, and I will send some sort of man to clean that particular garbage. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like a stuff. When people wanted to clean even more, so they have to took the photo now. Okay, yeah, but when they wanted to take the photo, they won't be able to, because of that at daily they could only took one photo. If they want more, they have to kind of like something buy my premium services. In these premium services I would charge some sort of money, so that people would kind of like take the photo, generate the ticket, went to the server, I will send some sort of man who clean that particular garbage and things like that. Okay, yeah, and I would earn money from this subscription things. Okay, yeah, the people who are kind of like something subscribing these things, or kind of like a something people, yeah, like do you get it? No, it's a kind of like something subscription based kind of like a stuff. Okay, yeah. Now another thing, my revenue system is not stopped there. Okay, now I collected the garbage. What should I supposed to do is that कि I should supposed to be separate the garbage. What's a separate? Means like that bottle at one side, the plastic material at one side, all the chips and metal particle at one side, the organic particle should supposed to be one side. Okay, yeah. Now what should I supposed to do is a bottle. First of all, let's take a bottle. There are almost like a millions of bottle, plastic bottle. There are so many bottles. Okay, yeah. I have to find some sort of artist who kind of like a create the art from that bottle. Okay, yeah. So bottle, can, and things like that. So I would kind of like a simply find some sort of artist who would kind of like a create the art from that particular bottle and things like that. I would say that ki you should supposed to be make that particular art. Okay, yeah. And whatever the whatever the money that you gonna earn from that art pieces, 30% of the earn money will come to me and 70% is yours. Okay, yeah. 70% is yours. So basically is this thing, I'm also generating a job for kind of like a something, the artist who wanted to create that thing regarding about bottles, plastic, whatever it is. Okay, whatever the things that you gonna need, I have all those things because I collected all those garbage. So I have this thing come to me, and basically we signed the contracts. 30% is me, 70% is yours, and you do whatever you want. Okay, regarding about that bottle, regarding about things and stuff, things something like that. Okay, yeah. So I also earn money from that way too. Okay, yeah. Another thing is that key. Now let's talk about the organic product, like basically the like organic product means like that the dead plant and things like that. I would do the make the kind of like a something useful product, kind of like a something compost things or whatever it is. Okay, yeah. Like I will not gonna burn that garbage. No, I'm trying to utilize that garbage as better as I want to be. Okay, if there is a kind of like a some sort of metal particle, then I should supposed to be distract kind of like a separate that metal particle as a copper or as a kind of like a some nickel or anything, and I separate that particular thing and I sell that particular thing and I will earn money through that thing too. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, when I'm collecting the garbage, that garbage is mine. Okay, yeah. And I have to do whatever things that I have to do with that garbage. Okay, yeah. And I have to be earn money through it. Okay. So this is my business plan. Okay, yeah. So like it's not really hard to do this thing. It's kind of like a something so easy. It's not that something that I'm not gonna do that thing. It is, and I will gonna do. I will gonna definitely gonna do. And it's something that it helps to the society. It's something that helps for me to generate revenue sources and money for me. And it kind of like a something like that I won't be able to handle. There are thousands of cities in India. Okay, yeah. And probably I won't be able to control all those thousands of cities. So basically there are so many people who would kind of like start the business in this thing. They would do that and they would kind of like a something, yeah. So basically is this thing, the garbage is kind of like a one thing that people who kind of like a something care as a kind of like a something less respected thing. Right now collecting the garbage is kind of like a more respected job profession, and not only job profession but as also earning money from it, because in the end it kind of like a better to the society, but in the end it's kind of like a good for society and things like that, and regarding about money and things like that. So yeah, this is I wanted to do, and I will definitely gonna do. I will definitely, when I will have that particular opportunity. Like why not you can't do this thing right now? Well, first of all is that key, yeah, I would do that, but still is this thing, I have some sort of things to do to achieve. Okay, yeah. First of all I have to achieve that thing and I will definitely gonna do. It's something that it takes time. Okay, yeah. Let me give some sort of time and I will definitely gonna do that. Okay, yeah. So this is my kind of like a something, a business thing that I should supposed to do regarding about the information that I have and things like that. All right, yeah. All right, I should supposed to be Indian. This is it. Thank you.